Brother, I don't know what Roach is. He was just a cherry pick. And I'm going to tell you this, too. A lot of people are getting on me for saying this. If Lamont Roach dominates or knock out Pitbull, he's better than Tank. If he hits Tank and Tank has Bambi legs, that goes viral. Jake Paul gave Tank Bambi legs. Bruh, he'll get trolled so much, Tank may retire. Lamont Roach was speaking to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia asked a great question, and Lamont Roach answered it. And I want to know if you guys are convinced by how Lamont Roach answered this.
He could do a statement and knock him out. Do you think you could knock him out? That's what I really want to know. Like, do you think you could knock him out?
Oh, for sure. Especially with the... I'm not trying to give away.
I'm not
trying to give it, but I think so. I think so. And if I don't, I promise you it's gonna be the worst he ever got beat ever.
My bookie that I wanna try. I got Lamont Roach. Oh, no. I'm gonna do max bet on Lamont Roach. Now, Roach, listen, bro. Listen. If you make me lose my money, Roach, if I lose my money, it's gonna be the funniest video you've ever seen. Now, he got me convinced. He convinced the biz. But this is the only thing that had me shaky. Okay.
When I seen him, cross that threshold, man, back up off of me, because last fight he was too friendly with Roach, too friendly, and I see a little glimpse of it. And I understand he trying to stay humble. You know what I'm saying? Because you get to a point, you see a glimpse of it when he talking, but he trying to stay humble, trying to learn how to control that beast.
We know that wasn't Tank, or it was, but we know it wasn't. And we're only saying that you would beat Pitbull at 140 because of Tank, bruh. That is a lot of faith, because we've seen Pitbull getting busy for a minute. And to all of you who say Rayo laid out the blueprint to beat Pitbull, you're a damn lie. Another fighter laid out the blueprint for Rayo, and that was Gio Cabrera, who has the same type of dimensions, and he fought Pitbull a certain way, keeping away from him, and then getting busy with Pitbull when they were in the phone booth. He actually dropped Pitbull, but they said it was a slip. Pitbull about to be easy work. He one-dimensional. Brother, I don't know what Roach is. And that's the Black Two Sugars. He was just a cherry pick. Not that long ago for being 130 going up to 135. Now going to 140 to be. I don't know. I really don't. I've watched him, and he wasn't jumping out the TV and making everybody be like, "Yo, that guy's the next one." He's been around for a while. I'm just saying. I'm the only one that's keeping it real here. I don't know. Now, here's the thing. Somebody said that was Tank. Could have been. Lamont Roach can be all wrong for Tank, but evidently he's not all wrong for everybody, including Herring. Him and Hector Garcia was fighting tooth and nail. So y'all are sure about some shit that I just don't know, bruh. Don't forget, it was still a draw. He didn't whoop Tank's ass. Y'all act like he whipped his ass. We're going to find out a lot. And I'm going to tell you this, too. A lot of people are getting on me for saying this. If Lamont Roach dominates or knock out Pitbull, he's better than Tank. I don't even know how you cannot have him better than Tank. People question Tank's resume anyway. But if you make Tank take a knee and they don't call it a knockdown and you still get the draw, you beat him. You beat Tank. And then you dominate Pitbull, one of Tank's best wins. Bro, you better than him. The resume, listen, bro. I didn't say greater. I said better. The resume means politics. Ryan was just saying it. Lamont Roach could have been on a back burner and they were holding him back, so he had to go down to 130. Doing the grunt work like Marvelous Marvin Hagler. waiting for his time to shine. Resume, if the business chooses you, they can move you along right. He actually get cherry picked and he best Tank and then he stops Pitbull. He's better. Y'all know how the business of boxing works. You just saw Terrence Crawford actually be the best fighter we've seen in decades. The man, Terrence Crawford, can arguably be better than Floyd Mayweather. Y'all saw the business shit him for all of his career, practically all of his career. And you see that he's better than Canelo? What a surprise. We've been seeing a guy coming from lightweight can beat Canelo at super middleweight. So you know how the business work. If it wasn't for what he did to Errol Spence, he would have retired and we would have never known that we were sitting there watching one of the greatest fighters to lace him up in decades. That's how the business works. How many of those fighters have retired? Is he better than Floyd to me? Yeah. Is he greater than Floyd? No. Floyd would have never done or tried to do what Terrence did. Never. Got nothing to do with the Tank fight. It's just the style and the way Cruz fight, and Pitbull was a cherry pick for Tank. If it's the way Cruz fight, if it's the style, Pitbull should win. If it's the style, Pitbull should win. Oh my God. Pitbull should win, but maybe Roach is special. If it's the style, Pitbull should win. Roach is right there. Pitbull gonna be throwing crazy power. On top of that, this weird defense, using the crown of his head and slipping slightly. If it's style, Pitbull should win. If it's logic, Pitbull should win. That's the Black Two Sugars. I don't know how you catch Pitbull shots. Tank beat Pitbull with one hand. I got you in a close fight. But my thing is, we can only imagine what he would have done with two because he chose not to rematch him. And speaking of Tank, this right here.
Y'all going there doing y'all thing, woo woo woo. I said, he ain't giving you nothing. Let's look at it. Look at all the persons he fought. He ain't giving them nothing. Especially when he fought Tyson. He stripped Tyson of a lot of things. You mean to tell me you start hitting Jake with some shit, he ain't gonna fight back? He said, fact. So I said, you gotta take him serious. You get what I'm saying? Because he had you on a hit list before this fight even happened. So his mental is on you. So you have to take him serious.
What Tank Davis doesn't know he's risking is crazy. I hope he knows now. The fan base doesn't know what Tank's risking. Y'all just seeing it as WWE shit. That Jake Paul is an opportunist, and that Jake Paul is going to try to knock him out, bro. He's going to try to knock him out. That heavyweight Jake Paul is going to try to knock Tank out and go viral. He's going to try to knock him out, do this, cross his arms. He's going to try to do that shit. He's going to try to do that shit. If he hits Tank and Tank has Bambi legs, that goes viral. Jake Paul gave Tank Bambi legs. Bruh, he'll get trolled so much, Tank may retire. Tank got to knock that guy out, and y'all don't realize it. Y'all over here, ShowBizz, you giving, you saying this and this a WWE fighting this and this fake. You don't understand. Jake Paul's going to try to rock him. And regardless of the reality of it being an exhibition, that shit, the sight of that is going to go viral. Tank going to have to take him seriously and knock his ass out, bro. Fake or not, Jake is standing on the graves of everybody he fought. Except for Fury. But what he did to Tyron Woodley was diabolical. Silva, great legend. Nate Diaz. Mike Perry still fighting bare knuckle. He knocked him out like he can give a shit. I'm telling you, bro, if y'all call it fake or not, whatever y'all want to call it, the guy is winning. And I'm talking about his brand is winning. And he would take this opportunity to do the same. And Tank's going to have to knock him out, bro. All right. And that's why I said I was tripping on what could the conversation have been with Tank and Calvin Ford when Calvin Ford had to convince him. And Tank said facts. That's what Calvin Ford said that Tank said. That means Tank was going into it like, yeah, we're just going to play around. You play around with Jake, he's going to knock you out, go viral. Y'all can act like y'all buddy, that this is whatever. He's thinking about him. Bro, y'all can go ahead, keep shaking hands and buddy up. You're going to end up like Tyron Woodley falling asleep, bro. I don't know what they agreed on or what happened before. All I know is bam, sweat, boom, tattoo on finger. That's all I know, bro. That dude is going to think about himself. Tank, you better knock him out, bro. Is it? Thomas said, nope, it won't happen, Biz. Jake wouldn't do that. It'll mess up his fake fight reputation. Are you trolling? Or are you being stupid? Thomas, let me know. Say, hey, ShowBizz, I'm just being stupid. Because knocking out Tank or giving him Bambi legs go viral more than it just being a pity pat session that goes the distance. If you're talking about money, you trying to make money or no? Giving him Bambi legs or knocking him out get you paid. Are you being stupid or are you being real? If they have a pity pat session, Jake Paul's brand goes down. If they they're gonna be like, yeah, I definitely don't believe in it. It'll be over with. Everybody think his fights are fake, right? This says exhibition 135 heavyweight. People won't give it one last chance. If they pity pat and do nothing, people are done. They're done. They're done. Somebody got to get hurt, because if no one gets hurt, they're done. What made Jake go viral? Going the distance or knocking out Tyron Woodley? What made him go viral? Nate Robinson getting bounced off the canvas or going the distance? The biggest thing that hurt his brand was his fight with Mike Tyson. It had all the views, but that was that many people looking at it and saying, oh, they held back. This fight on Netflix, he got to follow it up and give people a reason to believe in it. Check out what Crawford said right here about, remember when Canelo got hit and me and everybody said that he gave that look? Even I said it. But Terrence Crawford, he keeps it real right here.
That's a counter. It was a great counter. But at the same time, Canelo being great as he is, he was actually rolling with the shot and anticipating me coming back with a right hook. When you see him roll and then kind of roll the other way, he was anticipating me throwing another shot. It was a great shot, but it was great awareness by Canelo as well.
Making people like Bud even more. Bud could have ran with it and said, yeah, he looked at me like, what the heck? And goofed it. Nah, he was just like, nah, because then he rolled again. And that's Canelo being great. Brother just saying all the right things, man. You know, it's sad, you know, because I've been saying for a long time that Crawford should have been as big as Tank. Pause. Tank and Crawford wasn't that much different. They both knocking everybody out. They both on the mic, they both about the same, bro. They both kind of, it's not like Tank give great sound, but he's as boring as, they both like the same. They tell a joke or two, you know what I'm saying? Except for Crawford moved in a way that was more logical, right? He wanted his pay to be for sure. Like, no, don't give me, you know, this type of money based on this and based on that. Give me the certified, I want 10 million or I want 5 million, 2 million. He didn't do all the extra shit, right? He moved in a way that was very rational. Sometimes people don't like that. Sometimes people gravitate towards those who got domestic issues, tatted up. It just, I don't blame people. Like Mike Tyson is an icon. Was it because he was a straight and narrow? No, he was form the key. F off. Like Mike, you know what I'm saying? That's why we like Mike. Mike said all the shit we wanted to say. F off. You know, it's like, yo, that's you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't love Mike because he did everything right. It was he blew the money. You see him a picture with blowing his nose and just like, yeah, Mike. I don't want to do an interview unless I can fornicate. It's like, brother, I mean, he used to fornicate. I don't think I've ever heard fornicate other than when Mike says it. I don't even know if it's a real word. I'm gonna be honest. He introduced fornicate to me, not personally. Pause. Let's take that back. He introduced fornicate to. Matter of fact, it's going down the wrong word. I'm saying fornicate too much, and it's bad. Let me see. Why wouldn't